So I wanted to get started with you by asking, what was your first experience into comics? Like, when did you start reading as a kid?
Probably before I could read. I remember reading or at least flipping through over and over again a neighbor's copy of an old Fantastic Four, and I loved it. It was like the Fantastic Four were fighting the Frightful Four, so it was just like there's a guy made of sand and a guy that could stretch and a rocky dude and somebody on fire and somebody whose hair was alive because that's when Medusa was, in the book, and it was just like I just couldn't. My mind was blown by all these colorful, fantastic things, and so I would go to the neighbor's house all the time to read this comic and read this comic. I was probably 4 or 5, and then one day I was just like, they're not going to miss this comic. They don't care about this comic, but I love this comic with everything I have. So I just kind of put it in my back pocket, went home, and then I made it mine. And so that was kind of the start of my comic collecting, and
I
probably
love it.
also the start of my, career as a thief. No, that was the only comic I ever stole. The rest after that I paid for. But yeah, I was like, I just had to have that. So
That's so crazy that you had that sort of passion when you were younger, that you were like, I need to keep being able to read this and go for it. Do you remember what issue of Fantastic Four that was?
Yeah, 130. It was because my older brother was into comics, and so these were like his older friends, and so they had all these just old comics scattered all over their floor, and it was a Jim Steranko cover, and it was so in your face and just alive that it like I said, opened my mind that so far is never closed to comics, so I love it.
And did you get into collecting after that, or was
Yeah,
it?
I mean, almost right away. Like I had no money, but comics at the time were like a quarter, and so I could stretch 50 cents a month pretty far.
Yeah.
And my older brother had these rules where he collected a bunch of stuff already. I wasn't allowed to collect anything he did, and so I bought the stuff he didn't care about. But when he wasn't around, like I also had access to his whole collection, so I sort of instantly doubled all of my stuff, just unbeknownst to him. So
That's awesome that you could go through and read it and really become fans. What was he into?
Spider-Man and Hulk were his, so then I had to get like Fantastic Four and Avengers because
Nice.
for some reason he didn't touch those.
That made him yours. He didn't like the team books, but you
Yeah, exactly.
you
Yeah.
gravitated towards it.
Yeah.